Hello, somebodies. We are the Nobodies. What are we doing here today?
Today we are going to be interviewing the great Gabriel Guardian. How are you today, sir?
Doing awesome, man.
That's metal.
Woke up today, and that is a good day, you know.
Oh,
Take it
yes.
one day at a time.
Yeah, you know, when you wake up on the right side of the dirt, it's always a good day.
Yep, exactly.
So,
How you guys doing, man?
Well, we're doing fantastic.
We're doing pretty good,
You know,
yeah.
it's late. It's 8 o'clock for us. I wake up at 4 a.m., so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is past my bedtime, but...
Yeah. I go to bed around 4 a.m., so it's crazy.
my man.
Yeah. I just got up a few hours ago. I live in Las Vegas, man. Like, you know, out here, we all work in the entertainment scene, and it's just the city never sleeps. So
Yeah.
it's just so normal to be like, you want to go get breakfast at 4 p.m.? You know, so
At the Waffle House.
yeah, at the whatever casino restaurant, you know,
There
so
you
many.
go. So we got a bunch of questions for you today. So the first question I'd like to ask is, at what age did you start music, and how did it all start?
I started playing music when I was a little kid. You know, I always had interest in it because my dad was a drummer, and my brothers, they're all musicians too. My older brother's a drummer. My little brother's plays a lot of instruments as well. Like, you know, it was just around my whole life. So I kind of dabbled with it, like just for fun, you know, the same way a kid throws a football just for fun, you know. And then around 10 years old, that's when I was like, all right, I want to learn how to do this. I want to get good at this. I'm going to stop trying to play sports or go swimming or whatever you name it, things that every other kid was doing. It's like, I want to try to do music, see if I get good at it. And it doesn't hurt, you know. If you play a few bad notes, it doesn't suck as bad as falling off a skateboard, you know. So there's and the gear was there, you know, or just around the house, you know. So I was just like, okay, let me just try this out. And I started with drums. My dad's a drummer, so he kind of just naturally showed all the kids, you know, how to play an AC/DC beat. So me and all my siblings can play like basic drums, and I really liked it. But my older brother, he is an incredible drummer. And we started a band as a kids, and it's kind of like the Van Halen story, like same thing. Like, all right, man, you know, we're in a band together. I'm obviously the better drummer, and you know, there can't be two drummers. So what are we gonna do? And I had he already had his own band, and I had to like work up my chops to, you know, to play with the sixth graders. You know what I mean? So it was like very different time. And then over the years, you kind of just get really obsessed, you know, and you just. You know, you don't really look at it like I'm not practicing 12 hours a day or something. Like a lot of people ask me how many hours a day I practice. Well, I always felt like I was just jamming and playing my favorite songs and playing. I just did that forever. And then eventually you just get really good at playing your favorite songs, and then you start writing your own songs. And then that's kind of how this whole thing just kind of whirlwind. So really, I've been playing guitar now for like 20 years, which is so crazy to say out loud. Like, damn, you know. But
it's a long time.
Yeah, it's quite a journey because you just, you know, you discover yourself so many times. You think there's all these goals you try to hit, and then when you hit the goal, you're like, oh, what's next, or what do you do? Or I thought this was the top, or I thought, you know. So you're just constantly trying to reinvent yourself and new things. But music is definitely something. You just really have to love to be doing it for this long and doing it for this aggressively, I guess, you know, making this much stuff.
Okay, so as far as what I've heard, you started guitar back then. When did piano come into this?
Yeah, so I started playing keyboards. It's a weird story, but like, you know, I mean, like I'm from like a small Texas town, right? South Texas called Harlingen, Texas. It's the Rio Grande Valley. And down there, just the metal scene, just in general, wasn't a huge thing like a major cities was. And then on top of that, power metal, which is even more niche and specific, was even, you know. So the chance of finding a keyboard player ever was just not going to happen. And I always loved music that had keyboards. I've always loved that. Crazy Children of Bodom, Symphony X, all the power metal stuff, you know, all that. It's Dragon Force, you know, crazy synth stuff. And I was
Even
like,
when you hear like a single chord in the background.
Yeah, just like how do we do that? Like how can we put that in our music? And I'm like, I was so young. I was like 14, 15. I didn't know what backing tracks, and I didn't know that you could produce that in the studio and later play, I didn't know that stuff. So I was like, we need a keyboardist. You know what? I'll just kind of do it for now, fiddle around with it. And then eventually we'll find somebody. And then next thing you know, I just became the guy, it's like, I guess I'm the keyboardist, and then over the years, but the way it started though, was I remember I was like at a talent show or something, and I was trying to do something in the name of like comedy. I was trying to be funny with it, the guitar keyboard thing. And I remember thinking like, man, wouldn't it be so funny at this talent show or whatever thing I was doing to play like the final countdown, or it was some funny melody, or like, to do it together and come out all, just and I think it was the final countdown. It was some kind of, epic melody. And I remember doing it. And I remember none of my friends were laughing. They're like, dude, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
You should do it again, man. You should do it again. So I remember like buying a keyboard, like when I was in high school, just a basic cheap old little Casio. And then I started doing it like at the very first Immortal Guardian shows. And then after that, people were, oh, it's the guy that does that thing. And then I got lazy. I stopped bringing the keyboard. There's so much excess gear to bring,
Oh, yeah.
And then people started going, dude, you're not doing the thing. Like, I came to see you do the crazy thing. And I was like, oh, I guess I should do the thing, So I started like seeing that it was like, when I started taking it serious, because at first it was just like, look, I got this like melody or whatever. But when I started taking it serious and being like, whoa, this is a whole new way to express yourself. You can like do things that like are so in sync or so out of sync with yourself. Like, and then that's when it started becoming like a writing tool and a performance tool. And then this new website at the time called YouTube came out.
Yeah.
And then like everything just changed. Like the purpose of doing everything was just like, it's all making sense. And if I make videos and I show the world, and and then the band started. So it was just kind of it was a crazy time in the world. But
it was an evolution.
In a small town doing it, not thinking you were gonna make a career out of it. I always think about those times in my bedroom figuring out the melody, never thinking that, oh, this is great. I'm on to, like, I never had the aha moment. It was just kind of like, I'll just do this, do the talent show, get whatever, or do the thing, and then move on with it. And then I was like, slowly, I literally like ears was like, wait, I think I like this. Wait,
I might be good at this.
Wait, I think I've like, and you're Googling there on the internet how to do it, and you realize there's no tutorials for this thing.
Nope.
There's no one else showing you how to do it. So you got to start coming up with like your own methods. So I'm trying to make like a thing right now to show people how to do it too. Because there's so many like things that I felt if I would have been told from day one, if you just do this, it makes this doing this stuff easier, I would have like been like, oh my God, it would save me so much time. So hoping to make some kind of thing soon. But yeah, that was my journey. But after all these years, I've had Immortal Guardian on and off over the years, because I've also been in other projects. I did EDM for a few years and stuff, doing Fire. That was pretty fun. But Immortal's it's immortal, so no matter what kind of crazy things I've gotten involved with, Immortal just keeps, pumping out new stuff over the years. And right now we just wrapped up a new album. So we're super excited to
nice
getting that out next year. So.
Yeah, I saw on your Instagram that you just came out with a new single called Echoes, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so so that's it. Your brother. That's the band with your brother.
No, my brother now he's lives in Austin, Texas, but I'm in the band with Carlos Zima. A lot of people think we're brothers, but yeah, Carlos, he's an awesome brother of mine, metal brother of mine,
brother
from a Brazilian mother. You know what I'm saying?
So how many instruments can you play all together? Like if that's including harmonica, going to What? How many instruments can you play?
I mean, that's always a funny question, because like it depends what play is, right? But like it's play a melody, right? Like play a little something.
Can you do every instrument in Billy Joel's Piano Man? Like that's what we're worried about.
I can probably play like maybe 20 instruments. I don't know.
Wow. So
There's
you're like
lot
just
of
a
instruments
prodigy.
there's a lot of stuff that kind of carries on a little bit. Like once you kind of understand the basics of a guitar, you can kind of play a bass, and you can kind of play a banjo, and you can kind of play this and a that, and a ukulele, and So when you understand a violin, you can slowly understand the viola and the cello. You start understanding it's not the same. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's easier to
the fundamentals.
I figured out. Let me see if I can play the melody on this. Like I can play violin horribly. Horribly. I would never put myself on the stage like, give me that. Let's rock this house. Never. But the better question is, how many instruments would I play in front of a crowd comfortably? Maybe like 5 or 6.
That's so insane.
I would feel like, hey, I can do this and have a good show.
And what are they? What are those?
Oh, of course, guitar and keys, and any variation of that. I would include acoustic and pianos and all that in there. Bass guitar, singing, and then maybe just like auxiliary stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of blanking out here. Like if I needed bells or cymbal crash.
Gotcha.
I'm good at being on cue, So
Yeah. Okay. So, what projects do you have coming out soon? Because we just watched your Dream On cover with you doing keyboard and guitar. We want to see more from you. What do you got?
Yes, that's a really good question, man. As of lately, man, I've just been so slammed with making the album. So my attention back when, if you notice, like you'll just see a direct correlation. Like when Immortal's not producing content, I'm putting out tons of covers. And then when my covers slow down, it's usually because I'm on tour with Immortal or we're making music. So I would imagine that the covers are probably going to start flowing in by the end of the year, like probably December, January again. But right now, it's just like every day we're in the studio. But the good news is that we have a lot of videos coming out that are Immortal stuff. So you're going to be seeing like some insane solos, some insane playthroughs, and all the stuff that's related to the album and stuff. So that's pretty fun. Like to me, it's like a change of seasons, just like fall and winter and all that. I change modes. Like, all right, it's Immortal time. Let's get this record done. Let's make some music videos. Because all the boys, we live thousands of miles apart. Our bassist lives in South Texas. Our drummer lives in Montreal, Canada, and Carlos and I live here in Vegas. So we're not together all the time. So we have to only take advantage of the moments we're like on tour or doing stuff to like, I know everybody's tired, but we got to shoot a music video today. So we just get as much done. And like whenever you see us making an album or doing something, we just compress all that into a small amount of time, where I guess a band would usually take like a year or two. We just try to just power through because of the circumstance, which is it's a good thing if you ask me, because it puts a fire under your butt. Like, hey, look down the street. So whatever you got to get done before the tour is over or before everyone flies back home and gets back into.
So do you guys ever try like the organized Zoom calls and stuff like that? Because I've heard faraway bands do stuff like that when it comes to recording.
Yeah, we definitely talk a lot. Like we talk online all the time. Like we've sent video chats and messages. Like you'd be surprised how we write music, man. It's crazy. I wish it could be all 4 of us in a room jamming out like Metallica in the 80s or something. But with the way things are, we just make the most of it. And usually one of the 4 of us has an idea. It could be literally all 4 of us are writers. So we're just like, yo, check out this chord progression I made, or check out this beat I made. And he'll give me like the entire song structure of a beat. Or I give him the entire structure of guitar. Or Zemo will give me an entire song. Look at all these vocal melodies with these lyrics. And then we just start gluing it. Dude, I think this would be cool here. And this would be cool here. But the cool part is that it's not, to me, I always tell people, it's the difference of having a phone call and texting someone. Hey man, how you doing? Oh, good. Like you don't have time to think about it. Oh, I'm good. It's like, how you doing? You have more time to think in your text. All right, how am I gonna respond to this? So like as we're passing this like potato around, we're kind of like, instead of just open jamming, we're kind of like, all right, what's the best thing I can do to this drum beat before I send it back to him? And he's gonna be like, oh dude, that makes me want to do this.
Yeah.
Hundreds of video messages on my Facebook, and it's like hundreds and hundreds of pointing the phone at the screen. I think instead of going it should go Oh,
Yeah.
That would kill me. That would.
Yeah,
absolutely-
I was looking at
I
him. He
hate
hates that.
text messaging. I hate it.
Yep. Super tedious, but that's how we make music, I guess, in 2022.
I
You
guess
know it,
so.
baby.
So you got any tours?
Yeah, we got some stuff for next year. Well, we're gonna start announcing, of course, later as we
Okay.
announce the album and all the stuff. But right now, we're kind of just focused on wrapping it all up and getting all the videos finished up before the year's over.
All right, perfect. So
You know.
answer this question. So, how many guitars do you own?
I mean, honestly, over the years, I've given so many away to like family or friends, or like I leave them somewhere and I forget. But like now, the only ones that I like keep at my house are like my Kiesels, which are the ones I actually use on stage and studio. And I probably have 5 of them. I have like 5 Kiesels. So
And
I
how
have
many
one.
pedals?
Is this out?
Yo, that background's sick.
So I have like, this is like my Guitar Hero controller one.
That's I was gonna say. I like that. That's awesome.
But yeah,
Wow.
it's just this is the very first one they ever gave me, and Jeff Kiesel and Brandon and Jesse, all the guys at Kiesel, man, they're like just freaking amazing. They're really nice people, and they make amazing guitars. So
Awesome. So you got pedals with those. What kind of pedals do you have? Do you have like a pedal board with 22 pedals on it, or?
no, actually, it's pretty simple. It looks like a lot, but yeah, it's right here. I just point the camera down. Check it out. Let me see if I go. Oh, it's seats right there.
That's a nice seat.
All right.
I guess I can't pull it out because
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's,
Basically, I have a because I'm a keyboardist and a guitarist. I kind of just try to meet the needs of both those things in one pedal board, so I'm not rolling with because I have to think about it, man. The last like 10, 15 years, I don't even know how long I've been doing this. I started playing keys when I was like 15, and I'm 30 now. So yeah, for the last 15 years, I've been rolling with double the amount of equipment as anyone else. I feel the pain drummers feel, straight up.
yeah.
So over the years, you just start learning how to compress and compress and compress. And I remember when I used to have I still have it all here in the corner. Like I use it in the studio or have it here at the house, but I never roll anymore with like 4x12s and heads and all this huge stuff. And like I used to have like you play the double keyboard and all this
Wow.
really nice stuff to have, but when you're doing so many shows per year, you're like, yo, this is crazy. So
Yeah, exactly.
now we're
You
rolling
gotta-
with like 2 guitars, like 1 and a backup, a keyboard, and then the pedal board is just the smallest new head rush, the MX5. That's like my entire guitar tone. And then I have a sustain pedal for my keyboard,
Yeah, they have.
pedal, wireless pedal for the guitar, and that's literally everything. And then everything else is like, I bring my own DI boxes, and that's just like, that makes the 1/4 inches into XLRs, but I just like to bring my own stuff because I've played so many venues where like the gear can be beat up,
Oh, yeah.
so it's like I'd rather bring the stuff, works. So,
Yeah, it's yours.
sometimes it's good stuff, sometimes, it's a gamble. So, the thing I do bring a lot is freaking lights, so that I love to bring. I think it's super worth it,
Mhm.
I love bringing the lights and the lasers and, the whole work. So that's a lot of fun.
So you're in your studio right now? That's what background we're seeing?
Yeah, this is pretty much my video studio here in Las Vegas, where I make pretty much like, I guess a lot of my content for the last year or two has just been right here.
Gotcha, because I'm seeing I think what looks like, I don't know if that's a regular or electric drum set in the background. I'm seeing that.
Yeah, it's electric. We're
Yeah.
just with some friends the other day, and I was like, I don't have a drum set, but I got this electric kit. And he's like, yeah, let's just bust that out and jam. So it's still set up.
We got my fish tank. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Our background ain't as cool as yours.
Yeah, there's 4 Tetris.
Oh, that's really cool, man. I really dig y'all's videos, man. I was watching some of y'all's stuff, and I was getting some great laughs, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We
It's a lot
try.
of fun.
We try.
So when you do your videos, who produces them? Do you have one guy or do you have multiple?
honestly, over the last year into this record, it's kind of been changing up. Our good friend Brett Rivera, uh, he was our director and videographer for like many years. He did like all our stuff leading up into this album. He did Ozona, he did Echoes, and then starting on Southern Rain, because he moved out of Vegas, he moved back to Texas. We've been working with another friend of ours here in town, Rex Van Candy, and this other dude, Arturo Pineapple. But there's just so much awesome talent out there, and we're just kind of trying new things. You know, we've been so used to working with Brett, and we love his like vision and his like the way he does stuff and the way he shoots. But you know, he had to move, and he's back in school and stuff. So we're like, oh man, you know, the record's still coming. What are we gonna do? So we're like trying to use, like, we did that Southern Rain. It was like our first like full CGI, you know, environment video, which was kind of fun to do. And we just did that Perfect Pursing, which was like our first style of that. Like, you know, we're just trying new things for this record. So I think you guys are really gonna enjoy the rest of the songs on this album. We're just slowly gonna trickle them out, one music video at a time. We got a video for almost every single song. So
Good.
We're excited. We haven't seen any original stuff yet on the channel, so that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, we're definitely going to react to one of those songs for sure.
Yeah.
So when you do your solo stuff between, you know, you and your keyboard by yourself, do you just set up a camera? It's you, yourself, and I?
Yeah, so for like the longest time, Brett was also the guy who would film all my solo stuff, because we were roommates, best friends. Like, me and this guy grew up since like elementary together, you know. So he moved out to Vegas for a while with me, but you know, we were living in Texas for a minute, and he'd always just like, do the thing, man. I got you. And he just filmed all my videos. And then I started slowly learning how to film myself and invested into a camera, and like pretty much this thing right here, like this is exactly my setup. It's just always turned on, plug and play. I mean, it's not always turned on, it's always plugged in. So if I need to make a video, just turn it on, turn on the lights, you know. And then it took a while, right? But during the pandemic, I just learned that I took that learning curve. Like, all right, I just got to sit down and learn how to just make a video from beginning to end, even with the audio and everything, you know, because it's
not easy.
Making a video takes a lot more than people think, you know. It's just like, you'll see something on Instagram, you'll see it for like 30 seconds real quick, just scroll past it. But the amount of, and this goes for all content
that 30
creators,
seconds takes a lot.
we're just musicians, you know, like, yeah, like for us musicians, we have to learn the song and practice the hell out of it and this and that. For an acrobat, the guy's got to learn how to do that triple backflip before he tells his friend to push, you know. It's just so much work goes into like literally seconds of content nowadays. Every time I'm scrolling, I'm like, holy crap. Like, it's just there's so much amazing content out there. It's unreal. So
yeah,
that's the bar for yourself and for everybody else. You know, it definitely pushes you to keep making better and better content. So that's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't think it was until like we started making our own music. No matter the quality of the music we've made, it's a lot of work. Yeah. You don't realize how much goes into like making a song or a video and stuff like that. It's like I get your point.
So what? Listen, what would you say to people that are trying to get into the music business?
Yeah, I mean, the music business is for me, it's just a wild roller coaster, you know. To me, you really just have to want to do music. You know what I mean? If you don't love music that much, just like get out now. Like, if you're just coming in like, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna make $1 million like right away or become super famous, but you just have to come in because like, man, I just love to play, or I love to write, or I love to produce. That's the beautiful part about the music and the entertainment industry, is that there's so many jobs you can do besides the actual music. You know, I have friends of mine that make full-on careers doing things that involve the music industry, but they don't play a single note and they love it, you know. But it's just the most insane industry in the freaking world. It's just like, you have good months, you have bad months, you have good years, you have bad years. It's just like and it's totally luck sometimes, and sometimes it's misfortune. But if you love it enough, you'll just keep doing it. So the odds are always in your favor that things are going to be okay. But it's so easy to get burnt out if you don't love doing it. Does that make sense? It's such a weird way to answer that question. But it's just like anything else. It's like me asking, what's it take to be a hockey player? And the guy's going to tell me, you got to get used to getting hit in the face, you know? Yeah, you got to love the puck. You got to really love that puck, but you're going to get hit in the face a lot, you know? And that's just something you can't avoid. And it might be one time, might be 10 times, you know? But that's how the music industry is. You just like, it's not that it's not going to happen. It's just, when is it going to happen? And it could be anything. It could be the pandemic. That was a really big one, you know? No one saw that coming. So right before the pandemic, we had just Vegas style. We just put all our money on the band. Like, all right, man, it's going to be the year of our career. We have all these tours lined up. Let's get all the merch and pay for the record and this. And we just all in, you know, and just like made the band a business and like so many levels that we had never done before. And then when the pandemic hit, it was like, oh my God, we can't return this bus. We can't return this. We can't return the merch. So
a lot of bands threw in the towel. A lot of bands.
Yeah. So, you know, we just had to adapt, and we wrote a whole album about the pandemic called Psychocymatic. That's how we coped. Was, you know, you could have the best band, whatever, this, that, ever. But if something like that happens, it's kind of... So what happened to the bands that fell off? Unfortunate. It was unfortunate. But some bands love the music so freaking much. They're like grasping on by the final thread. And we're one of so many. Same thing. We're all just like, oh my God, do we just call it? Do we call it? Why are we still here? No, hold on. Just, you know, let's just see what happens. And here we are.
Good for you. So,
yeah, man, just I hope you guys did all right. I hope you guys are doing okay now.
Yeah, we're doing great. Our family's great.
We're
doing amazing. Thank you for asking.
You too, man.
So, you want to say anything to your fans before?
Yeah, man. Just I just want to say appreciate everybody watching. You know, it's been super cool to make videos in my bedroom over so many years, and then eventually take it on the road and be able to tour and do this for you guys live. So just a big thanks to everyone that's ever come to our shows live or has watched our videos, and a big thanks to you guys for having me on your channel. So yeah, man.
Hey, thank you for showing up.
Would you play something live for us?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm gonna try to see how it goes. You know, no warm up, baby, but rock and roll.
Oh, I want to ask him, what is that box?
Which one?
That box that's on top of your guitar. What is that called?
Oh, this is called a dampener. So all it does is it goes like this, and then when I put it on, so when I'm going with one hand, it rings. But if I have this thing on, it goes. It kind of just kills. Like right now, it's not super tight, but like if I have it on really good, it just kills any excessive noise, you know.
Awesome.
And depending on the song, I'll have it on kind of loosely, and some songs I'll clamp it down to kill
everything. Yeah.
Even like Thunderstruck or whatever, you know, you want it to still like not be completely killing that note. But yeah, let's rock and roll for Nobody Reacts.
Yes.
to me, baby. Just wanna get out, just wanna get right out of
Yes.
Hey, that might just be the most impressive thing I think I've ever seen.
Oh my God, man. Can you, wow. Can you please tell me how do you put both instruments in your brain? Like, what is the process that's going in your head when you're trying to do two instruments?
Well, to me, it's just like I don't know.
You've just done it so
I
long.
always explain it to people like it's kind of like being bilingual, right? You know, you see something and it's like that is a manzana and an apple at the same time. You just
Yeah.
the thing exists. So like when you look at it like that, like a E note is an E note. That's an E. This is an E. E flat is an E flat. You know. So I've always like once I started treating music from that perspective of the notes and not the frets, like oh it's the seventh fret. It's the third black key. I think. Where's the A? Here and here. Okay. And then like slowly, that's how you just understand what you're doing. And then you start having fun with it and you start splitting it up. Like you can do like, let me just show you an example. Show you real quick. The songs like, I always like to show this example. Let me see. You can do stuff where like, the melody is on the guitar, but the keyboard does the chords. So you go. Or you can do that backwards, where you go. So it's backwards. Or the guitar's the support. The keys are in the front. Or you can just straight up just do a melody together. You can harmonize it. Right? Well, my favorite is doing kind of like, well, that's why I love Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, honestly, compared to the other videos where when I'm going really fast and harmonizing myself, those to me, it may sound weird, but like sometimes those are a little easier to nail than stuff like Bohemian where your hands are like doing two completely. But that's to me, once you get the songs or once you get that part, it feels so good. Like. But yeah, it's just.
So you treat it like a language. Basically, your instruments are your language.
Because when I was like a teenager, it was really easy for myself to see it like this is kind of gimmicky, you know. This is kind of like how serious can this really become? And then once, like I said, I understood that it's like, oh wait, this is a new way of expressing myself, like a new form of art, a new form of like, I don't know. It's just to me, it's like giving a guitar player a distortion pedal. It's like, here you go, man. And it's like the new way to express yourself. Like, whoa, and it's a whole new tool. So, being a keyboardist, guitar player, I've definitely learned stuff. Like, I wanted to start getting my keyboard chops up, and I'm completely self-taught, man. So I've never took a guitar or keyboard lesson in my life, dude. So like, the way I learned was just like, I call it like street theory. Like, I learned everything super backwards. But eventually, I kind of got it right. Not really, but now at this point, I'm like, whatever. It sounds good enough. Like rock and roll, you know. Yeah. But
without YouTube.
Over the years, you just like kind of just keep asking questions, keep learning songs. That's the best advice to give to any young musician. It's like, dude, just learn what you want to sound like. You want to be a guitar player like this guy? Go learn his songs. You want to sound like Santana? Go learn 10 Santana songs. You want to sound like Iron Maiden, go learn an Iron Maiden album or your favorite 10 songs that are, but like eventually when you learn someone's songs and you learn enough of them, you start realizing there's patterns. And that goes for everybody, you know. Hey, these are the same chords as that Judas Priest song. And these chords are the same chords as this other song. And this Pantera riff reminds me of, and then you start connecting dots that you don't realize you're teaching yourself music theory, but you're like, this is the same frets as this song. And this is the same solo pattern. This guy does the same tapping thingy in Crazy Train that they do in that Metallica song, you know, and it just kind of starts like all making sense. And then over the years, you have friends of yours that are educated. They're like, oh, that's an F sharp minor. Oh, I've always called it the Crazy Train chord, but thank you. And it's literally that. Think about it. 20 years of that, man. You slowly will teach yourself. And there's still a lot of stuff I don't understand, but I do it. I'm like, I call it the Yngwie Malmsteen chord, and they're like, no, that's called the, you know, put it into like whoever it reminds me of, or is this the Santana lick, you know? They're like, no, dude.
You're disappointing them.
Yeah,
all that money they spent in school, you're disappointing them.
But at the end of the day, you know, I'm playing on the same stages, the same tours. It's like you realize one day as a kid, you're like, wait, it doesn't, like, this is one of those, it's not like being a doctor or being a job where you need to have that college degree, you need to have that piece of paper. This is the one where if you got it, that's awesome. Like, I wish I would have done it looking back, but I didn't. But I'm still rocking the same places. So if you ever feel like financially, that's the thing that's holding you back, is like, I can't be a musician because I don't have the money to learn and this and that. Like, don't let that ever get in your way, because with YouTube and friends and the guitar, drum, and whatever community, there's so many people that you can learn from / like watch videos from. Like, I mean, there's endless sea of videos on YouTube alone of how to play so many songs or how to do certain techniques. So I encourage musicians out there, like, if you want to get started, just get started, you know, get yourself a cheap guitar, cheap keyboard, whatever, and just open up YouTube and, you know, type in your favorite song. Back in the day, it wasn't like this. You know, back in the day, you're like rewinding stuff and trying to figure it out. Or, you know, we didn't have Spotify. Like, hey, man, you got that CD? I really want to learn that song, you know?
Yeah, now it's easy. It's easy. So
and
listen.
It was hard those times, right? With vinyls and stuff. My dad always.
Listen, I have to get to bed. This has been the most amazing interview ever.
Damn, it's probably like 9 over there, huh?
Yeah, we're going on 9. About 9 o'clock, and I gotta be up in like less than 6 hours. So, but that's it. We'll do an outro. And we want you to be part of it.
Perfect, man.
So remember to hit that like, subscribe button, and tell us down in the comment section below what songs we should listen to and who you'd like to see on the channel. Gabriel, thank you for joining us here today. Seriously, it was awesome.
Thanks for having us, dudes. I'll see you guys soon on the road, and you guys keep acting, loving it out there, bro.
And press the next subscribe button to get notified
every time
we upload a video. I'm Son.
And I'm Father. And you are?
Gabriel Guardian. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Yes. Rock on.